Welcome back to the Vanity podcast. We're here for another episode. We're going to switch to every other week, which is why there wasn't one last week. But it's me, Zach, with Kenny and Amal.
Schnoozing.
Yes, tell us about your sleep schedule, Amal.
Well, the joke with that, the reason it's so funny, is because we did a first take of that intro and realized shit wasn't recording.
It stopped because it went below a battery threshold.
So we did the exact
We
same
just
way.
repeated the same fucking
Repeated it.
Okay, sleep schedule, go.
I
Rapid
was
fire.
up for
Tell us about
26
it.
hours.
Hurry up.
That's what I'm doing. I'm going to shove this mic up your cock.
Good.
Ooh,
No.
fun.
I was up for 26 hours the day preceding yesterday and then yesterday. And then now I only slept for whatever godforsaken reason. My body was like, sleep for 4 hours. So I woke up at 6, going to bed at 2, and now I'm even more tired.
That's how it be.
But like, not to the point where I'm losing my sanity kind of tired. Just, I want to kill myself tired.
Are you
Ah.
sure?
No. But that's the excuse I'm giving myself.
Yeah, well, you haven't been sleeping well before that anyway.
Yeah, I know. But at least before, I was sleeping.
Yeah, that's true.
Now I'm not even doing that.
Well, at least you get the joy
No.
of nothing. You have no safe haven
No
at all.
happiness in your life.
If there is a saving grace to this, I haven't told you boys yet, but me, Mr. No Girlfriend, finally has a date.
Oh shit! Now this
Tells
is
how big her titties are.
I want exact measurements, Amal. This is news.
Yes.
What's her name?
What's her nudes?
Yeah.
No. Those are mine.
Good thing we're not using your phone to record. Come on, pull them up.
No.
I'm kidding.
I'm just kidding. She's a sweet girl. Her name is Paige. I think I told Zach. I don't know if I told you, but I met her on a cruise.
A cruise?
Yeah.
Several while ago.
You know when he was missing last week? He went on a cruise
Last week.
during the pandemic.
That's right. I forgot.
That's right.
He was on a
Cruise.
On a
On a
cruise.
cruise last week.
I am so utterly confused and I don't know what's happening.
I don't know what I'm just going along
I'm
with
being
it.
played. No, this happened a few years ago. When I was like, what, 14, 15?
And it just took this long for your message to ask her out to send.
Yeah.
No.
That's why she's
No, he just didn't want to look desperate.
Not even.
He just waited.
He's in
She
it for the
texted
long
me
con.
and I said, here we go, watch this. No.
4 years later, hey, you want to go out?
No,
I messaged you 4 years ago. I'm married now.
Huh? How old are you? 26.
Oh, God. Are you sure? No, it was a
Yeah,
matter
she likes
of-
me.
So, first, our group had like a shit ton of ups and downs. There was
Mhm.
this dude named Lee who was in our group for a hot
You
minute.
probably shouldn't name drop.
How many people in this world do you think are named Lee? There's an anime character who's Japanese named Lee.
Shit, the guy in Walking Dead is named Lee.
Thanks. That's not the point, but go on.
But dude was kind of a cocksucker.
Damn, with a name drop too.
I didn't drop his last name. Not that I remember it, but you know.
Just go on.
It's okay, because Lee knows he's disliked.
All right, then fine.
Lee
Fuck
knows
you, Lee.
he's hated.
Fuck you, Lee.
Yeah, imagine being named fucking Lee.
Well, let's slow down there. Anyway.
But he hit on Paige for a hot minute, and then Paige eventually came out with how uncomfortable she was at this, and then like after asking her out and being like super creepy towards her while they were dating, not in any kind of like unconventional creepy, I guess, just the fact that his advances were unwanted, I suppose, and he was trying to move too fast
Well,
for her
I mean,
liking.
Lee fucking sucks, so
Yeah.
of course his advantages were unwanted.
But all of our group decided to kick him out of the group chat. And then after that, I spent the remaining couple of, not like years, but a few months getting two other people in the group together, playing wingman on both sides.
Mm-hmm.
And then eventually I was like, when they finally did get together, I waited a few weeks and then I went, hey, I played both of you, making you think you liked each other, and then to this day they're still dating.
Mhm. And
So
this is
my long con has
years
worked.
ago.
This was years ago.
You rubbed your hands with a knife and you're like, yes, yes.
Fall for my trap card.
Match in heaven has been made.
And then after that, our group just kind of started falling out of contact. It was just us messaging back and forth. And then Paige also lived an hour to 2 hours away from me, like an hour 40 minutes to 2 hours away from me. We met up one time during the last couple of years, and then recently our group chat's been getting more talkative recently, of course. So with that, Paige wanted to hang out, but because of coronavirus being kind of gay, she wanted to wait.
Yo, the virus kind of gay, though.
Damn.
But now she doesn't care anymore, and she just wants to meet. I'm assuming.
Yeah, fuck this virus. Actually, doesn't matter. We're opening back up on Friday
Yeah, I know. But also her
Really?
at 25% capacity.
her reasoning was that her brother has asthma, so she didn't want to have to worry him about getting the virus and then coming back to him potentially getting it because he was freaking
Gotcha.
out. But they had like 50 million family members over at their house the other day, so at that point she was like, "What the fuck?"
And he had a panic attack.
He's
heard
dead now, so just have to worry about it.
But she was like, "Yeah, no, fuck it." So we made plans, and she's gonna come over on Saturday.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah. So that.
What are your actual plans?
Me getting her hooked up on Haikyuu, first of all.
Nice! Nice!
I didn't know it was a group date.
I can't wait to watch it for a third time. For fourth?
Fourth.
She
Yeah,
said she hasn't
because-
watched it yet. So I'm like, this is a sin. You're a sinner. You're not only a sinner, but you're a heretic.
The 8 deadly sins of mankind.
I can't believe she's
Greed,
committed
lust,
treason.
gluttony, and not watching Haikyuu.
And then also, she hasn't played Persona at all. So I said, that's another sin we're going to have to rectify. So I'm going to have her play Persona.
I'm not even gonna look at you. I'm not even gonna look
Remember
at
when
you.
you promised you were going to
Yeah, that was funny because you know what? I also knocked on your door and said Persona, and you didn't wake up.
I woke up before you.
No,
No, fuck off.
no,
The Saturday where I had to work?
no,
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
No.
When you promised to stream.
no,
What do you mean no?
no. I go Persona, and you didn't wake up.
No, fuck you. I woke up before you. I woke up at like 9:30.
I woke up at 5 in the morning. I said, knock, knock, Kenny, Persona. And you said, no.
I'm sleeping like a normal human being.
I'm
Zach.
killing you in your sleep.
This just in. My dreams have come true.
Go back to your story.
I mean, that's basically it. It's, well, aside from, what we're doing. But basically,
What are you doing?
I don't know.
I can stay downstairs.
I'm literally a virgin.
You
I
can
don't know
be
what the
very
fuck
loud.
is happening. I don't think you would understand.
This is
me.
so we can
Like-
make a tutorial for a mall.
No,
Shut the fuck up.
I can get people together on dates, and I can put on words on people. When it comes to actually like the date, I suck dick.
No, that's not
Well,
what you're
that's
supposed
why
to
you're
do,
a
Amal.
virgin. See, now you need the tutorial.
Uh-oh.
You're playing the wrong game, Amal.
I've been baited.
I was playing the long con the whole time.
Even before you were born, I was formulating this plan.
But yeah, no, that's great. Good job.
Yeah,
Yay.
Hell
it's
yeah.
cool.
How did you guys talk about that? Who reached out
What?
first? Was it you or her?
Me.
Honestly, you're the desperate one.
No.
This is
Because
unbelievable.
yes,
You're a simp.
it was me.
Oh
It was me who originally started talking to her again, like in terms of one-on-one. But I'm not the one who brought up hanging out again.
Ah,
She
gotcha.
did. And then also, was it yesterday? It was either yesterday or the day before. I got a random text from her out of nowhere. She was like, "Hey, how's it going?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm doing pretty good. Just
Tired.
wake up.
Yeah.
I'm dying a little on the inside right now. What about you?" And she's like, "Oh, pretty good. Hey, yeah. So," and then this is when she told me that her entire family is hanging out at her house for a little bit. And she was like, "So I guess it doesn't matter if we hang out." And I was like, Am I being approached? Is this what the cool kids call being hit on?
Mm-hmm.
You should have just gone at it like Cloud. Just being
No.
Just what?
Because the whole thing with Cloud, especially in the remake, like it's been pretty consistent, is that he's a dumbass.
stupid.
Yeah, he's a
Yeah.
dumbass who's oblivious to things.
Oh, gotcha.
But he
Like,
plays like he
he's
knows everything.
no, he's this nerd. He thinks he's saying all this cool shit, but he's like, eh. So all the memes about him are like, like there was a meme of Jesse trying to be like, hey, so what you doing? He's like, I'm in bed. And she's like, what would you be doing, if I was in bed with you? And he's like, I'd probably still be in bed. And she's like, okay, well, what are you doing in bed right now? And he's like, I'm eating. She's like, what if you weren't eating? And he's like, I'd go get food and get it into my bed.
Wasn't there another one where he was at first correcting Aerith, and then he ended up somehow agreeing with Aerith? I forgot what the fucking what
Was
they
it
said
the
specifically,
was it
like
the
dialogue between them?
Was it? Are you talking about one of the memes someone made,
Yeah.
or like okay, yeah? Was it the one where it's Aerith looking at an 18 and up sign?
Oh yeah,
She's
He was
looking.
like-
She's looking at something labeled 18 and up, and she's like, "Cloud, we don't have enough people."
Oh.
He's like, "You're so stupid, Aerith. We just gotta go get more."
I think I saw that on your phone at some point. It was either on Twitter or something. But
It was God. It was
And,
fantastic.
yeah. Point being, you should have just been. You should have just been like that.
Yeah,
hmm.
but
I mean, it wouldn't have worked.
I don't
out,
have the
probably.
wit.
Yeah.
They're
Regardless,
smarts.
I don't have my luck stat up like Cloud does.
Your
okay?
your 2 brain cells aren't dedicated to that.
Yeah, all
You
the other ones
min-maxed.
are dying or sleeping.
So
you min-maxed.
you said that you met her on the cruise, but was the whole group from the cruise?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay.
I forget the
So
exact.
it was like a friend's friend originally.
Not even that. I forget how we met up completely. Honestly, like it was.
Great story.
Oh wait, no.
We went overboard.
That's
Yeah, I jumped over, and then Paige was also jumping, and then they were like, "Oh hey."
That's crazy.
No. I don't know. Have you two ever been on a cruise before?
no.
I've really wanted to.
Cool.
Don't want to.
Okay, well we're doing that anyway, so fuck you.
Afraid of water?
Yes.
Are you fucking kidding me? We've explored 5% of the ocean. I don't want to go in there.
Well, that's why we're not going deep.
Shut the fuck
we
up.
stay on the surface.
I don't want to be out in open water.
Too bad, stupid. Anyways,
You got me.
During cruise ships, because again I'm like 14, 15 at the time. They have these little clubs sectioned off on the boat, and then there's
VIP.
depending.
Club.
No.
Smash Club.
Yes, basically that's all they were. There are these little sections dedicated to certain age groups, and depending on your age group, the cooler the club would be. So like if you were a fucking baby who was just an unborn fetus,
You'd have the milk tasting club.
yep.
Where you got to be a milk connoisseur.
You got the
Yep.
breast milk club, which was still a lot of people who are 18 and up were trying to get in that club.
But I'm pretty sure that's where I met Lee, and at this point in time, I knew he was a cocksucker, but he wasn't being a cocksucker directly to me. So I was like, I guess I can hang out for them for a little bit. Like, what's the worst that could happen?
He pulled the wool over your eyes.
Boy, I was a fool. Everywhere we went, he was insulting people, doing whatever, and I'm like, holy shit.
I want to make a Persona joke, but someone
Hasn't
would
played
be
Persona.
spoiled.
Mischief.
Go on.
But at some point or another, through the club thingy, he introduced me to Casey.
What's that, Cloud?
Yeah, Cloud.
Tifa and Aerith?
Yeah, they were there too.
Oh my god.
Whoa.
I licked their sweat. I lived the dream that no one other man could. But through him introducing me to Casey, I think, and then Casey introducing us to everyone else she's been hanging out with. That's how I met Paige. And funny story, Paige thought I hated her during the cruise.
And then you said, haha, I did.
Thanks, change.
But that also funny story relating that.
Funny story.
I literally lost all of my shit uncontrollably during the cruise. There's this thing called what was it, like a Bloody Mary or something like that?
Yes.
Where it's like a Sprite and then you got a shit ton of cherry syrup in there. Thing is, that cherry syrup has something to just turn off any kind of control you have over your reactions. So after And the thing is that at the time I loved Bloody Marys like to death, so I'd be constantly drinking them.
And you died.
I started laughing uncontrollably in front of everyone. And not only was it the most embarrassing shit ever, the thought of it had me laughing even harder. I had to get up from where I was standing, still laughing maniacally, and go over to a water fountain and like almost drown to try and get me to stop.
Is that why back when like we first met you and became friends with you, and we mentioned playing video games till like 2 a.m. You were like, no, you guys would never see me sleep deprived.
Oh yeah,
Okay.
Because on top of me doing that, I was getting like 2 hours of sleep on the cruise a night. So
That's
can
when
imagine...
it started. That's when it all started.
No, it
We're
was way
looping back.
before
Maybe
that.
you can get your sleep schedule back.
Yeah.
Paige is the missing link.
I haven't like lost all of my memories, and Paige is the missing link between everything. Okay, I'm not fucking Link in Breath of the Wild. Here.
I'm missing Link.
I knew it was gonna get brought up. So where was this cruise going?
Nowhere.
Yeah,
They
like,
never
nowhere.
left the harbor.
No, it was. Was it the Bahamas? I think it was.
You
something
just
like
chill
that.
on a docked boat for a weekend.
No, I think we went to the Bahamas and back, and I think it was a 4 or 5 day cruise.
Bahama was the best president, by the way.
Also, Bahamut is the best dragon.
Bahamut.
Bahamut.
Mine was funnier.
No.
How long did you stay in the Bahamas? It's like how long did it take to get there?
It took, I believe, 2 days to get there. We stayed there 1.5 days, and then took some roundabout way back.
Gotcha.
I think.
What'd you do at the Bahamas other than view the beautiful Bahamas?
And the beautiful Paige.
Died.
What?
No, we went to Paris.
How is he paying for rent?
Get fucked. You'll never know.
He's got his own inheritance money.
I killed myself and forced the government to pay me.
It's just like the thing that
Workers' comp.
yeah, no. Connor brought it up a while ago, like I think it was like the episode right before we got cameras. But he was like, there's the one girl who was tried as a witch. They hung her, but she didn't die. She like passed out from the noose, but didn't die. And so whenever she like got out of the ground from being buried or whatever, they were like, oh, okay, you can go. Like you're free.
Oh, yeah, like,
because she served her like death or whatever.
They're like, holy shit.
Well, I guess
Your
we can't
own-
fuck with her anymore.
Your own
She
inheritance.
literally just came out of the ground. God brought her back.
But yeah, no, I really want to go on a cruise. My grandparents go on cruises all the time.
The thing is
And-
that
And they've never come back.
to me, the only reason I could have fun on those cruises, for being as socially awkward as I was because of those clubs. Because, you know, they got Wii's and Switches in there. Not
But not Switches, because
Yeah.
it was...
It was back, like, what, 2015? I don't fucking remember the years. Oh,
The Switch prototype.
2015. Yeah.
PS Vita.
No, not even that. What was it? The Wii U. That.
Was Wii U 2015?
I don't
Yeah, I
fucking
think
know.
so.
I don't remember exactly.
Sure.
Because I think the like actual Wii was
Yeah.
2011,
Well, yeah.
2010.
But like PS3s, Wii's, stuff like that. So you'd play Super Smash, you'd play all the 2D fighters. And unfortunately, only Paige and I are gamers out of that entire group. Well, I guess her brother is too. Also, her brother is chill, and he's the only reason I really still talked to Paige at the time. Like, the only reason
Don't let her see this episode.
only reason I had any interaction with Paige on that cruise was because of her brother. And her brother is the most chill dude, and he's also fun to pick on because he'll just pick on you back.
He's
But,
so
like,
chill because none of the oxygen's getting his lungs, so he can't retort back.
Yeah.
That's the best part of asthma.
He just dies. Checkmate, Brady.
He's just on the floor like... and you're like, ha ha!
I win.
I win this one. Try again next time. On to the next cruise.
Time to fuck over one more person.
Yeah, no, but I really want to go on a cruise, but my grandparents had a cruise planned like last month,
And
I
then
think.
COVID said, "Fuck you."
And then COVID said no.
COVID
and they were
said,
like,
"Oh, watch
shit.
this, get pranked."
But I don't know if they were able to get
COVID
a
said, "I'm about to
full-
end this whole family's career."
I don't know if they were able to get a full refund on it or not because
That's the part. That's the weird thing about cruises is that they're very particular about
Yeah.
shit. It looks like luxury, but unless you're paying like top class shit, they probably don't give a shit about you.
yeah.
So
Yeah. I always remember seeing those ads. I think it was on Nickelodeon.
Oh, for
With,
like
like,
the
the
cruise
dude- yeah.
giveaways.
Or
I'm
like
pretty
the-
sure those cruises were the worst.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably, but like then they started having like fucking slides that hung off the side of the boat.
Yeah.
Where you would just like go.
No.
There's no way that was gonna be a good idea.
I mean, I'm sure it was fun. Did you see the thing on I think it was
The boat has to be
beginning of
completely
last year.
stationary, and no one and we have to have 20 like
boat is on
safety
land.
mats.
No, I think it was at the beginning of last year on Twitter. People were like, "Wait, did they ever announce the winner of that cruise with the fucking Zach and Cody, whatever their actual names are?" I
Dylan
forgot.
and Cole Sprouse.
Thank you. And they were like, "Did they?" And so then they tried to hunt down and find the person who won, and they did. They found him, and he was like, "Yeah, it's all right." he posted the pictures of him with them, and he was like, "It was fun," but it's I thought they were gonna. I remember trying not for the cruise, but every hour, because I think it reset every hour. You could try putting in a new code from a Go-Gurt.
You mean Danimals?
Maybe it was Danimals.
Danimals was what Dylan and Cole Sprouse did.
Well, yeah, but this wasn't that one.
Oh,
This was
okay.
I don't remember if it was Danimals, if it was Go-Gurt, whatever it was.
Dylan,
but
either Dylan or Cole, I can't remember which one. It was probably Dylan because he's the meme lord. Tweeted out, I don't know, last year or something like, "I swear to God, if one of you fucks, it mentions Danimals. If one of you tweets me about Danimals one more time, you can Go-Gurt fuck yourself."
yeah, no, like so I remember because the giveaway was the flip camera. You remember those?
No,
Okay, well they were like
I don't remember this giveaway.
the camera at the time that you could have as a kid was the flip camera. I'm pretty sure that's what it was called. If I'm wrong, let me know. But
You're wrong.
It was literally just.
You're wrong.
I mean, obviously at this point, it was probably like the worst camera in the world.
Well, exactly.
But at the time, it was
144p.
great. Yeah, probably.
I can film on my anime AMVs with this camera.
But I remember, like, no, it was like a pretty good camera at the time. So I wanted one really bad, and I would always try. Me and my sister, every hour we would each like just eat an entire Go-Gurt to try to get the code, and every single time it's like fucking Valorant. Trying to get the key. You type that shit in, and it just says no, and you're like, fuck.
I said, "Go-Gurt fuck yourself."
Now every single time it just says Go-Gurt fuck yourself. And so then I was like, God damn it. Now I have to wait another hour and eat another Go-Gurt. I lived off Go-Gurt at that point. It was the only thing I ate.
The thing is
Side
that
note-
that's actually healthy though.
Side note, I really liked yogurt as a kid, and then I think it was once we learned that there's like bacterial whatever the fuck that lives in yogurt that is still like fine, but it's still like bacteria. Once I learned that, I was like, ew, fuck that, and I have not had yogurt since.
I can only eat certain yogurt because of my lactose intolerance. Before that, I would eat everything that was like dairy related under the sun, including yogurt. So I would
No, you can't have
constantly-
dairy under the sun. That's gonna make it go bad.
No, I had it and ate it there, stupid. Anyways, I would continuously eat all of the yogurt. And one day, my stomach just said, "No more bacteria to digest your yogurt. Die."
It's a deep skeet.
And then, sure enough, that's what happened.
I remember I would, I think I was 12, maybe 13 at the time, but I that's when I started my coffee addiction. And so, because
Being addicted to coffee.
Imagine.
this is
Imagine
coffee, by the way, in
Imagine
case I
having
didn't
a
say
shit
it.
sleep schedule and still being addicted to coffee.
Imagine. Oh my
Shut
God.
up. Shut up, stupid.
No, you.
So anyway, I remember like my stomach would always hurt all the time, which like coffee does that shit. But anyway, my mom was like, "Well, here's the thing. I'm gonna see something." She didn't tell me, but she was like, "Hey, Zach, come here. I want you to drink this entire glass of milk," because at the time,
And you said,
I didn't
okay.
know, I didn't know I was lactose intolerant. And I was like, Mom, you don't drink milk by itself. Stupid. Give me some Cheerios. So instead,
I disagree.
I ate Cheerios and then drank the milk out of the bowl. But either way, I got the milk right in my system.
Your mom
And
said
and
you're a
then
fucking
You said,
stupid
Mom,
idiot.
you don't drink milk out of a cup. You drink it out of your nipples.
give me. And so I drank all the milk, and then my stomach said, and my mom was like, "Yeah, you're lactose intolerant." I was like, "I don't know what the fuck that means."
Give
And
me
here's
more
your
milk.
coffee cake.
And my mom was like, "That means milk makes your tummy upset." And I was like, "But ice cream.
And she said, yeah, that too.
That means no more anything except."
You never get ice cream again.
See, the thing is that I'll.
And that was my villain backstory of me.
I will
killing
destroy all non-lactose intolerance.
See, the thing is that same, but also, I'll still eat an entire fucking pizza, and
yes.
nothing can stop me.
Yeah,
would
no.
do it
I,
often.
I stopped eating and drinking milk related to things for maybe a week, and then I was like,
That's not worth it.
I think it's worth shitting myself.
See, I don't know what it is, but it's
See,
after shut up.
No,
Shut up. If I eat something, if I eat something within like an hour after waking up, my stomach feels like shit.
Yeah,
Like anything.
yeah. But then also, if I don't eat something within a certain amount of time, then my stomach also hurts. I have to find that golden sweet
That
time,
golden key.
that golden key 789, where
Golden
like
ratio.
I can eat but not eat
Yeah.
and not want to die every day.
He already has his mic.
You should leave the mic to your face when you're talking.
For me, it's I.
I really hope
I-
you sample that sound.
I can't.
When you're editing, you just...
Save it. Jacquemone.mp3.
But I only drink lactate milk. I'll eat ice cream. I'll eat pizza. Yogurt, no more. Sometimes. But
I haven't eaten yogurt in a very long time.
I only eat Greek yogurt now, and Greek yogurt is fucking cool as shit.
Yeah.
Well,
What's
only-
the difference?
It tastes good. It doesn't taste like $2. It tastes like 20. You know how you can taste the price difference?
Yes.
That. Except yogurt isn't actually $20. Otherwise, I wouldn't buy it.
You know those videos where they're like using instruments of like different price points, like $5 piano, $100 piano,
And you can't tell the
$100,000 piano, and they're like, can you hear the difference?
No.
And it's like, yes, but it's so minuscule that it's not worth that massive of a price jump.
Yeah,
maybe
see,
to
the
you.
thing is that the difference between $2 regular yogurt and $5 Greek yogurt is that $5 Greek yogurt tastes like $20.
You got that good shit.
It's good shit.
That's-
If I ever buy it, no one's allowed to eat it except me.
Yeah, but no, for real, I get that. Because every
No, I
time,
know,
every
it's
time,
just- it's
every
just a
time I'm
thing.
downstairs and I'm looking for what to eat, I'm like, I have to eat fucking pizza rolls. I'm like, dude, this shit tastes like cardboard.
Yeah.
I don't like it.
Made with nuggets,
Also, the nuggets.
but I make them all the time.
Literally, I remember Sam had some Domino shit left in the fridge,
Uh-huh.
and they were there for so fucking long.
It
I was
started
like,
to smell.
literally, no one's gonna eat this,
Yeah.
so I'm gonna eat it. And so I microwaved them. I left them alone for maybe like 30 seconds before eating them. And trying to eat one of them was the equivalent of trying to bite into a rock.
Yeah, yeah.
And then it turned to dust in my mouth. And I went, I'm throwing these away.
Yeah, we need to go shopping.
No,
know.
no, that was a very long
Well, yeah.
time.
Well,
but
yes,
Also,
like,
right now. you
right
get
now.
Oh,
groceries.
you're right. But if I buy yogurt, no one's allowed to eat it except me.
I,
That's fair.
I'm not going to eat
You
it.
can mark that as your own.
I don't know. Literally,
I'm
that
going
thing.
to piss on it to a certain inventory.
That thing about me not eating yogurt as a kid because of the like bacteria shit or whatever, like it's just stuck with me.
No,
Like
that's
I know
understandable.
I can eat yogurt.
Yeah.
And I've known I can eat yogurt. But
Literally,
ever since I had that in my head, I was like, fuck that. I'm not doing that.
Literally, it's the same with me and spinach. As a kid, I fucking despised spinach. Now I can tolerate it and eat it, and it's not like something I actively hate anymore. but I still won't eat it just because it's not in front of me.
So with that, where you found out about the bacteria thing and you stopped eating it, whenever there was that whole thing, very long ago, with McDonald's, whenever we found out that it was like pink slime for like the patties or
It's
whatever.
like fucking Play-Doh in the chicken.
Yeah. So I was like, when I found that out as a kid, I was like, no! I didn't go to McDonald's for a single time. And like, it was like, I think it was 10 years. 6?
No, I've literally not gone to McDonald's
6
since.
years? And then I was like, I'm so fucking hungry. I was like, there was nothing near me except the McDonald's. And I was like, I'm just going to have to. So I went and I was like, I got a nugget meal. And I was like, at least I know their fries are going to be good. Because I remember loving their fries.
The fries still taste good, but you know they're still like bad shit.
But when I ate it, I was like, I don't know if it's because I didn't eat it for 6 years or if this is just legitimately garbage. Who the fuck is like, I could go for some McDonald's right now. You know what I want? McDonald's. What the fuck you? No.
There are
That was so gross.
There are
Because-
fast food places I will like absolutely refuse. I will never eat at. McDonald's is one of them.
Yeah,
It's
No,
awful.
I have eaten at too many other fast food restaurants that actually have some sort of standard of
Yeah,
priority
yeah.
for fucking produce. McDonald's ain't one of them.
No.
chief.
After you eat like Chick-fil-A or some shit, how
Chick-fil-A
how do you think
Chick-fil-A,
you know it
Steak
sounds
and
good?
Shake
Yeah.
is a
like-
god
How do you eat that
compared
and then
to
be
the
like,
peasant McDonald's.
"Yeah, I could go for some McDonald's. Right now."
Yeah. And the only thing that's like
Sponsored by
legitimately-
McDonald's.
the only
Not
thing,
anymore.
The only thing that's good about McDonald's is the fact that you can like get a large drink for like $1 or whatever it is over
Yeah.
there. But like that's the only
Honestly,
thing you will find me in the
I
drive-thru at
remember-
McDonald's for now.
I remember trying to drink their Sprite compared to like every other place's Sprite, and after that I was just like, no. If I need a drink, I'm going to literally anywhere else.
I don't understand the whole Sprite thing with McDonald's.
What do you mean?
How
people
how
are
everyone's like, oh, it's so crispy. Yeah.
It's like, are you fuckers in middle school? Yeah.
Yeah.
Spend your money.
Literally every single time they're like, dude, what does McDonald's do to make their Sprite so crispy? And I'm like,
Literally, they're-
what
Go
does that
fuck
mean?
yourself.
What does that mean? How is
Literally-
Sprite crispy?
Literally,
It's like,
well, no, because it's like super cold, right? And I guess, but I'm like, I drank their Sprite once and it tasted so fucking watered down. I'm sitting there going,
you got the unlucky batch of all.
I
You didn't
opened
get
the
the
lid
crispy
and
one.
dumped it out, and I went, bye.
See, and so then I saw another meme that was I don't remember what culture it was, but they had the little like bell thing in the bowl, and they like hit it, and then they start spinning around it, and it
Oh,
starts
that.
like vibrating
Yeah.
the liquid that's in there, and it starts like fizzing all the way. They're like, this is how McDonald's makes their Sprite. And I was like, yeah, that's exactly how they make their
Yeah,
Sprite.
you're maybe like 5 years old, you have one brain cell that's barely functioning
I
by
just-
clacking itself against your skull.
Ben, as someone who went to Clark for the first,
You just dredged up
Well,
so many old memories.
because
for
Clark is
everyone.
garbage.
I will not say Clark is garbage. I really won't. Like I don't think it was garbage. What I will say,
Maybe when you were there, it wasn't as bad.
okay, maybe,
For,
but for freshman and then sophomore year,
Yeah.
Clark, the shame with it was because like,
Uh,
well, first of all, like all cafeteria food, it was garbage. But so you didn't have off-campus lunch or anything because it was freshman sophomore.
Yeah.
And so you either had cafeteria food or you brought from home, and that was whatever. But then, as people who were in drumline, after school or after practice or between practice or whatever the fuck, the only places that are nearby is Sonic, McDonald's, Wendy's, and Subway.
I thought there was an Arby's near there too. Near Clark?
I don't remember. An
I don't think
Arby's.
there was at the time.
I don't think so.
I think there is one over there.
Oh wait, I think there is, but also I don't like Arby's because it's fucking Arby's.
That's fair.
But so anyway, the only acceptable place of those is Sonic. But you can't eat something like day
Every
after
day.
day after day without getting sick of it. So I was just like sad because the closest thing was McDonald's and then a fucking Wendy's that I got sick from twice. The only 2 times I went.
That's the Whataburger by our house. 3 times in a row, I got a burger there, and I got food poisoning.
Very cool.
I was like,
Very
I am never, ever having Whataburger again.
And
And then
then
I
you
got
had
a
it
job
again.
at Cinemark. It's like, let's go to Whataburger after work. And I was like, I'm going to risk this. And I'm going to go to
I'm gonna kill
Whataburger.
you.
If I get food poisoning, I get workers' comp.
I don't think. Well, for us, for me, because I was never in drumline, never had an interest in band.
But you had track.
Yeah, track. So
Hurdles.
no,
I'm kidding.
that was Charles Brackman. That guy's a god of those. I don't know. What he's
I
doing
don't
to
know
this
who
day.
that is.
Yeah, what a classic.
No, he's good.
Oh, Bracken.
He's good in the. Brockham is his name.
Brockham,
Sorry.
whatever.
Brackman.
But he
Broccoli.
in track he's pretty well known. He's like he went to nationals twice during his time in high school or something like that. But it was cross country is what I specialized in. Which isn't the most fun thing to watch, but it's probably one of the hardest sports to run.
Right.
Because it's the hardest thing to watch, you have the least amount of people cheering for you, doing the sport all that harder during the actual event. Anyways, what we do is because the sports buses at Clark, they'd come pick up the athletes and they take them over to Plano Senior for whatever fucking dumb reason they had for the system. Instead of just having their own sports team over there, they were like, no, you're too good. No, I'm not. I promise. But it would be that, and then after every meet, we'd go to Cane's. So because it was after every meet, never got sick of it, and because it was Cane's, it was good.
Yeah. See, when we got to Plano Senior and we had off-campus lunch,
You came.
well, yes, because I would only ever eat in the cafeteria like once a week at that point, because cafeteria food's fucking terrible.
Yes. Correct.
So,
Oh my God.
First of all, before I go to off-campus lunch, the one thing I absolutely miss from elementary to when I didn't, they stopped fucking making it,
The pizza?
the wacky cake.
See, I thought you were either gonna say that little oval pizza or the wacky cake.
It was
Wacky
it was
cake.
one of the two.
Wacky cake was so fucking good.
I despised wacky cake. I don't know if it was just that I hopped on the train way too late and my taste buds were like,
Maybe.
that's disgusting. But that oval pizza, I don't know what the fuck it was called.
It was good.
But that shit was gourmet.
That was what kept me in the cafeteria. That fucking oval pizza shit. Oh!
The only thing that I got from the cafeteria whenever I would go, first of all, I made my lunch every single day past Schimmelfinnick.
Understandable.
But the only thing that I would get during those times was chicken nuggets and wacky cake.
Why is chicken nugget 70% of your body at this point?
I don't. That's legitimately the only thing I eat.
I'm aware.
Wow.
It's Chick-fil-A or chicken nuggets.
I'm so bland. Holy shit. So, no, anyway, so it was a chicken nugget day, Wednesdays, and wacky cake. Which, by the way, we're also Wednesdays. Oh, Wednesday is the best. So, no, God, now I want wacky cake.
Stop.
Someone
Made the recipe.
Yeah,
They
someone
got
made the
it.
recipe. They got
So
it.
now we can
Oh,
make
yeah.
it. Let's do
They
that.
released it
Not
online
today,
somewhere.
but
Anyway,
we can do it
don't
today.
want to
Anyway,
make that.
Yeah, I don't it was good.
Whatever.
Going through school,
Whatever.
but I don't care about
Whatever.
it at this point in my life.
If I make it, I'll let you make it. I mean, have a bite.
You better clean the fucking dishes that come associated with that, buddy.
Yes. So, fucking, what was I gonna say? So, whenever I got to off-campus lunch, which was, what year was that?
This year.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well, every day.
You're
it's
in middle
off-campus
school,
lunch.
Zach. You're just dreaming. Wake up, stupid cocksucker.
No, so the first year that I had office campus lunch was whenever we first got to Plano Senior, and at that time I only ate lunch alone. I didn't eat lunch with anyone because I didn't have a group at
What
the
a
time.
stupid fucking
I know.
loser.
Can you believe that? And so every single day at lunchtime, I would leave, I would come home, and I would eat SpaghettiOs, and then I would go back to school. And while I was eating SpaghettiOs, I would work on pixel art on my laptop because I was really, really working towards making this really nice pixel art carnage. And I never finished it, but it's on my laptop somewhere, and it looks really good. I should do that. I should finish that. So anyway, but the thing was that I always had to deal with every single day was that, one, I always waited till the very last minute to leave my house to then go back to school, which, that's cool and all, except for the fact that I would always try to park in the small parking lot.
No.
And I am so bad at parking. Awful at parking. It takes me, at that point, it took me 10, maybe 15 minutes to park, okay? Because I'm so bad at parking. And so I was
late
I was late every single day. Every single day.
every day.
And so then I was like, well, this isn't going to cut it. Because now I'm going to be, what's the word I'm looking for? When you have too many absences. Now I'm going to be
Expelled.
no. Now my parents are going to get a letter that says that
I know what you're talking
that
about, but I
I'm-
don't remember what the word is. I don't remember what it's called.
abstinence. Anyway, no, I
Evicted from
don't
the
know why I
school.
can't remember
I'm
what the
abstract.
fuck. Oh no, our son is abstract. So whatever. I was never good at school, so this makes sense. But I was gonna be that word. So then I started to try to leave early, but then it got to the next year, which is when I had my first girlfriend. And I was like,
Kept bringing her back to the
that's
house.
so I can't bring her back to the house. But my solution was she drives and not me because she can park. So if we leave late, at least she'll be able to park and not I still have this Snapchat because I remember my grandest moment of parking to try to get to class quick enough was that I said, fuck it. And I reversed it into whatever it was. And I took up 2 spots, I think. And I was like, whatever. I'm going to be late to class. I need to go.
And so someone hit the back of your
I have
car and
0
pushed you.
hour. So I got to leave at 6th period and not 7th period. So when I got back to my car and there was a note that said, congratulations, you're an asshole at parking. And it was like, it had a whole list of things that I did wrong that he would check through. And it said, make of car, shit car. Like he wrote shit car. It said year of car. He said shit year. And I was like,
This guy just breaking,
this is
boy.
great. I think I may still have it in my truck because I was so proud that someone was so legitimately. They looked at my car. They said no, and they walked over personally, filled out this information of shitting on my truck, and then put it on it. And I was like, yeah. I also think that another reason why that happened was because I don't know if it was like this when you were there, but in the small parking lot, in one of the corners of that parking lot was we called it the douchebag corner, and by we I mean I did because I didn't have a group at that time. So I called it the douchebag corner because all it was all the Camaros and Mustangs and
My
like,
group, me, myself, and I.
yeah, fun times we had.
The gang's all here.
And so like it was so annoying because anytime they'd pull in before they would get out of their car, because they have a nice little muscle car, they gotta rev it. They gotta say, look, I have a big dick because I go to
But
Plano
I actually have
Senior.
a small dick.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of money that makes my dick look big.
Yeah. So anyway, douchebag corner. I parked in the douchebag corner.
But you took up all the spaces.
I just parked horizontal and take up the entire corner.
And you rev your engine.
You parked horizontally, and then you, at that spot, asked the fucking, what are they called? The engineering club that like worked on the cars. You asked them to elongate your car in that corner.
My truck's just like as long as the parking lot. But I will tell you that the best thing at Plano Senior was having 0 hour.
Oh, mechanics.
Because
that's what they're called.
yeah, there you go.
Brain function plugs.
The car engineers. No, but having 0 hour.
The mechanical. What are they called? The engine. The car boys.
Yeah. So that I could leave at 6th and not have to deal with the traffic of leaving.
Well, before we continue to get off topic on this, I just wanted to finish my thought on off-campus lunch.
Do that.
My junior year, my group was me, Joel, and then one of our other friends, and we made it. We would go out to Firehouse and Cane's so often that Firehouse became what we went on every Tuesday, and then Cane's we went to every Wednesday, and then it was just sort of like the rest of the days were like Potbelly or like this or that, and every day we went to Cane's, it went right through me. And I went, I'm gonna not enjoy this later, but I'll enjoy it now.
Yeah.
And so we would get back, and I'd be on time, and I'd be sitting in my chair like, I'm gonna take a shit really fucking bad. And it was always worth it.
You raised your hand and went, teacher, can I go to the bathroom? And she said, I don't know, can you? So you pull down your pants and shout right there.
And I said, yes, I can. Watch this.
But for me, it wasn't 0 hour. Like, I did try to get 0 hour pretty often. Thing is, I eventually came to just learn that the counselors didn't want to give me 0 hour. Like, I met literally every single condition for having 0 hour. But the counselor was just like, no, you can't have it. Do something else. So I ended up getting this one class that was medical terminology. This guy, I'm not going to name drop because I only knew his last name. And I'm pretty sure he's gotten fired from Plano Senior at this point.
Oh.
Because he's a shitty teacher and a shitty coach. So this dude's name we'll call Mike.
Fucking Mike.
Fuck you, Mike.
Fuck you, Mike.
He's a coach.
He's a coach.
I remember you shitting on a coach at Plano on one of the earlier episodes too.
I probably shot on is probably the same one honestly. Mike basically he taught medical terminology, and he was also a decent cross country runner. And obviously you two haven't run cross country before.
Correct.
But basically cross country is the friendliest and most chill sport you'll ever run. Like, you could be tumbling over and a runner on a different team will run over to you and pick you up.
And he'll say, here's $100. I'm sorry.
And then he'll go like, hey, you all right? And then you go, yeah, I'm fine. And then you guys keep going.
And then he pushes you to the floor and he's like, psych! And then he runs ahead.
But like, cross country is one of those sports where you have to have someone with you in order so you can like improve or whatever. And everyone in cross country just had that universal idea. But because of that, like mutual teamwork in a sense, everyone is on your team and not on your team at the same time, including your own teammates that you run with. It's because of this, I thought every cross country runner in existence could be the most chill motherfucker. Never been more wrong in my fucking life. Mike is a dick. He's a loser. I hate him. He's got a small pee-pee.
All coaches have a small pee-pee.
No, my coach had the biggest pee-pee.
I've had fun, nice coaches.
Yeah, no. Like, coaches are usually okay. But Mike was a loser. Like, an actual egocentric loser. He could not lose. If he lost, he found a way to make you the loser instead. It was pathetic. I hated him so much. So during his class, what he would do, he threw up a video, and like he'd give us a worksheet of like 50 words, right? And he's like, okay, you have to watch the video in order to write down the words. Okay, simple enough. Boring, but fine. Oh, no. That wasn't good enough. So it was one of those videos that it says, okay, this is the word. This is an analogy, like a word that sounds like the word. I forget what they're called. Not synonymous. It's something else. But a word that sounds like that word, and then here's a thing that you could say to remember it, right? And then no one said anything, obviously, because it's a fucking class full of teenagers. We're not going to repeat this child video.
Yeah.
He pauses the video, and he goes, we're going to try that again. No one knows what he's talking about. He plays the video. And because at first we're like, what, did like audio mess up or some shit? Like, what's going on? It goes to the first word again. He pauses, and he goes, you guys need to say the word. And we all look at him like, what the fuck? So, of course, he plays through the video again. He's like, say the word, guys. And, of course, like, half of the class says it half-heartedly at best. And so he pauses the video, and he goes, you. He calls out every person who didn't say the word, and he has them stand up. And then he goes, say the word, and then he plays the video, and he won't let them
stop. We don't want to say the N-word.
But like,
he turns up the volume. The principal's knocking on the door. Sorry, can't hear you. They have to say the word.
But so, like, literally, at that point, if no one said the word, he'd just send you to, like, detention or some shit for the class. And we were like, fucking okay.
He's like, I learned this from Dora. You will do this exercise.
Where's the map?
So, but this is how, that's how, if that doesn't give you a general gist of how he ran his class, allow me to elaborate some more for you. So we'd have these group projects. Okay. They'd be based off some of the words we learned in class. Okay. Sounds pretty normal, right? You're fucking wrong. So it'd be like 80% of the grade is, you know, the information you put down on it.
Mm.
The other 20% of the grade is, guess what? Creativity!
Oh, yeah!
If he didn't think your poster was creative enough,
what?
You couldn't get all 20 points. You know how creativity is usually like 5 points on a rubric?
I always remember creativity points being way higher than they should have been, and I was never the creative kid.
Literally, it's not even like a creative... Like, usually, if you got like some letters maybe misjointed, and you got some sprinkles or some shit on your poster, that's good enough. Oh, no. If you didn't have every color of the rainbow on your fucking poster board...
You mean sprinkles like as in the food topping?
I don't know.
Is the word is the word you're looking for glitter?
Be creative, kitty!
But literally, this is the worst dude ever. I've seen rubrics that have creativity for 5 points, sometimes 10 points. I think I have one teacher who maybe did it for 15 points at one time.
I remember it being 15 a decent amount of time.
But like 20 points of your entire grade isn't the knowledge you put down on a piece of paper. No. How much you remember, how much you can elaborate on the subject or apply it to like outside uses or anything medical whatsoever. Oh, no. You didn't rack your brain hard enough for colors.
I don't see Roy G. Biv on this poster. I only see Roy Biv. Where's the...
So, like, literally so many people have gotten only 90s on projects that I thought were exceptional because he thought they weren't creative enough.
There was I did a creative writing class in my senior year.
Mm-hmm.
Or no, my junior year. I took a creative writing class, and the first, not like rubric, the first like category, the first, what's the word I'm looking for?
Semester?
First,
or like,
not semester. The first
topic.
Yes. But
unit.
Like, unit.
Oh, okay.
The first unit was on nonfiction,
mm-hmm.
or I'm sorry, fiction, So our teacher, he was a really nice guy, but every time he talked, it was like he was talking down to you.
Oh.
Like he was always like his voice would be like, you know, soft, but it was always as if like
he was talking to a kid.
Yeah, which always bothered me. I never like held it against him because I was like, it's probably just a way of his speech.
Yeah.
But it always bothered me. And on top of that, the little side note, he always left the lights off because he was like, "Oh, it's a nice, soothing work environment."
Did he at least have like a window?
No.
It was one of
those plain senior classes where it was inside the building, like it was one of the more middle rooms. Uh-huh. And it was one where it had like the fake wall.
Yeah, the fucking cloth dividers.
Yeah. And so there were no windows. So he was like, "Yeah, it's like a nice work environment." And I always fell asleep in class because I was sitting there. There'd be like a video on, or to be teaching something. And I'd be like,
"Cool. Good night."
These lights are pretty dark.
I do like this setting.
But so anyway, the last project of that unit there was one of those books that authors do where it's like, oh, like how to write better, how to hone your craft, all that. But it was Stephen King's book on writing well. And so there is like an exercise that he put in the book that's like he lays out a scene and some characters. And so it's this couple, Dick and Jane. who have a daughter. I don't remember what her name is, but it doesn't matter. Hold on. So there's Dick and Jane, and there's their daughter, and he's like, oh, but Dick has been abusing Jane. He's
his dick.
He's been beating his wife.
Don't.
He's been beating his wife ever since they were dating, and it stopped a little bit once they got married, and then it came back, and then it stopped a little bit once she was pregnant, and then it came back. And so then one day, what is it? He beats her out in public for once, and a bunch of people see, and then the cops get called on him.
And the cops shoot him because he's illegal.
Yeah, were you about to say because he's black? I saw it on your lips.
So it was like, okay, now there's all that. Now flip it. Jane has been abusing Dick. Write a story based on that. You can use
you've told me this.
As much as you want from this like rubric. Mm-hmm. Of that little story. Use as much of it as you want. You can take things out and you can add things in, but don't change anything that's in that story, except for the fact that instead of Dick beating Jane, Jane is beating Dick.
Okay.
So write a story about that. And so everyone else wrote either like a fight scene between them in the kitchen, or like just a sort of tense like back and forth.
Mm-hmm. Power Rangers.
And so I made it all this inner monologue in Dick's head, where he, through all the years of abuse, is either going crazy or is still sane. It's up to the viewer. Where, he's been getting beaten, and so he calls the cops on her, but then she comes down the stairs with a bunch of bruises and passes out, and all they knew was there was an abuse charge or whatever, and so the cops burst the door, and they see her passed out and beat up, and they arrest him. And so I managed to keep the scene of him getting sent to jail and all of the stuff that comes after that, because there was more to it that I forgot. So I managed to keep the scene the same of him getting thrown in jail and escaping and all that, but still where she's been abusing him and this whole thing. And so we weren't at desks, we were at tables, and so it was 4 to each table. And when we had them ready, like when it was due, he was like, okay, so we're all gonna read our stories at the tables. And then you vote on who the best one is at your table, and you swap with another table. And then those 2 tables vote on which one is better between those 2, all the way up until it gets to the final 2 in the class. And those you don't vote, because no one can be the best.
Oh, got you.
No one can be the best. You will just know that you're the 2 best, I guess. But so I read my story out, and this took the span of 2 days, just because everyone reading took so long. So while I was reading, because I was the last one in my table to read my story, and the other 3, like theirs were still good, but they were more or less the same story that they all had written. And so when I read mine, the bell rang for the end of class, and I didn't get to finish. And they're like, no, stop, hold on. Please, finish the story. So then, of course, they voted me the best one. And then when we swapped, I got voted the best one between those 2. And I got to be among the 2 best in the class. And he gave me an 80 because he said I didn't follow the rubric.
How? You didn't ask?
Well, no, because I was upset. But
fuck that. I always, like, if I thought that, like, I 100% deserved a 100, and they were like, no, I would be like, like, what about it?
But what was so upsetting was, as I said, I kept the scene as he wrote it the same while still flipping it like he said.
Yeah.
I did both of them and had the class enthralled, and he gave me an 80, and I will never not be salty about that.
It's because he was like, this kid is such a better writer than me. I'm so upset.
This is illegal. I can't let this happen.
You get an 80 for being too creative.
But going back to Mike real quick before we move on.
Oh, yeah.
There was,
I mean, shit, we could just talk about teachers all day.
Well, because I definitely had good teachers.
Yeah.
But Mike, the last thing he did, well, there were 2 things actually. So the first thing he did, not specifically pertaining to me, was in terms of him being just a shitty teacher. He put on fucking workout videos during class.
Wait, I had a coach do that one time.
Oh,
Was his name Mike?
No,
No.
no, he was a history teacher, but
No, he
he
wasn't.
would
Mine
do he
wasn't.
would also he would just put on fucking
Wait, what
random
teacher?
workout videos. I wouldn't remember. I think it started with a D.
No, I didn't. My actual teacher didn't start with the letter D, but he put on workout videos. He put on cross country videos, and then so it was me, and then one of my best buddies, Henry, was in the class, and he would ask us, oh, like, hey, what were your times for the meet? And we tell him, right? And he goes, okay, right? Like, okay, buddy, you're like 8 years older than us. Give me 8 years and see how fucking good you are, you slut. like if I kept running, because literally I was one of the best runners on the team, except for like one other person. Mm-hmm. And the only reason I managed to beat him was because he wasn't
shot him in the leg.
No, he wasn't at his best when we ran the meet before regionals. So that's the only reason I was like quote unquote better than him. He's still better than me in my mind. But I know for a fact
For your age.
Yeah, for my age, if you gave me 8 years with that kind of practice ethic, I could have put that guy in the ground.
Yeah.
But anyways, so it was that was kind of like the last straw for me and Henry, where we were just like, fuck this dude. So his class was directly after lunch break, and I know you two definitely know that.
I think this is the same teacher that you mentioned before.
I would skip class because what you could do is during lunch break, you could go home, and if you didn't come back from school, you didn't need a doctor's note or anything like that. It would be still an unexcused absence unless like someone called in for you, but you wouldn't need permission from the school to go home. Basically, is what it was. So I would skip his period. And then go to my other periods like normal. But eventually it got to a head at one day where I, of course, skipped his class. This time with like a legitimate reason, of course. Because he didn't know I was sending in my other classes and just skipping his. Because his class was not essential for me graduating at all. I could literally earn a fat ass 0 in his class. And I'd still be okay to graduate. But so one day I had to actually miss his class. And like my next class over to go get my brother and drive him home or whatever from his class. And by the time I was done with all the traffic that's by Clark or wherever, I almost missed like my entire, 6th period?
Which is way past his.
So I'm like, fuck it, whatever. So I went back during my 7th period, and which was my cross country stuff, and I saw Mike on the field talking to my coach. I wasn't even worried or anything because I knew it was going to happen. Henry knew it was going to happen. Mike goes, Amal, come here, right? In like an angry tone. I'm not even going to try and mimic it because it just, to me, it sounded like an idiot calling me over. So I go over there and I'm like, what's up? And he's like, why'd you miss my class? And I'm like, well, I didn't think it was important. Literally, that's what I said. And he goes, okay, give me a real reason. So I told him, right? Dropped my brother off. And he goes, why didn't you email me? I was driving the entire time. What do you mean?
Would you like me to get in a car crash?
Yeah, no, he's like, you could have texted me or something. I'm like, no, I couldn't have. What the fuck? I don't have your number. Right? Like, no, you could have like emailed me from your phone. And I go, no, I'm driving. My life is not something I'm going to put in jeopardy over your shitty class. And like at this point, I'm actually cursing at him, right?
Yeah.
Because I've had it up to here with it. So I start, as we're talking, I get more and more irritated. Like I can feel it in my voice. I don't physically feel myself moving though, or anything like that. But I can tell at some point, he starts like actually realizing that I don't give a shit about him or his class. Like he finally manages to get it through his fucking
once he saw him pull the gun out, he was like,
No, I didn't like. At least I don't think I visibly threatened him or anything. I was just becoming super irritated with him. I'm like, dude, you need to get something through to your head. I don't give a shit about your class. I could actually fail your class and have 0 repercussions. You take your class way more seriously than you need to. And I go on this massive rant. And so he's like, okay, whatever, dude. Like just treat your elders more respectably. And I'm like, no, you earn respect. Like all of my teachers, one way or another, have earned my respect. Even if I don't like them as teachers, like they still have my respect.
Mm-hmm.
You have zero of that.
Yeah.
So, at this point, he's kind of like defeated. He just gives the obligatory, okay, whatever, right? And like he's still kind of a winner somehow in this situation, even though I verbally destroyed him in every capacity. Thanks, my debate teacher at the time.
The teacher you do respect.
Yeah, no, like literally, I loved her in my short time of having her. So of course my coach, he has to take the teacher's side. He can't be like taking a rebellious kid's side or anything like that. So he's like, you need to give him respect, and I'm like, okay, sure. And
then the guy walks away and he's like, hey, good one, man. And
no, but the thing is that all of my teammates were watching.
Yeah.
So I go over and they're like, holy shit, dude. and I'm like, what? Right? Like it's no surprise that I talk back to people. Like I'll shit talk all the teammates and stuff too. Like not in a hostile manner, of course. But they're like, dude, your arms were above your waistline. And I went, uh-oh. That's not good. I didn't mean to do that.
You were just yelling at him like,
ah! No, it was one of those things where like, because like above the waistline means you're going to punch.
No,
him.
yeah, I know.
Yeah, no,
You're ready to battle.
It was a joke. No. But they were like, I don't think I've ever seen you get so angry. Because I'm normally a pretty chill person.
Exactly.
But I was like, yeah, no, I'm just tired of a shit. So also to go in line with that, to discredit him even further, Henry is the next target he got when he like put his sights on when he realized he couldn't get me. He tried to like, egg Henry on, be like, oh, Henry, you need to study harder, blah, 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 blah.
He said, haha, Henry, you have a small penis.
And then,
hey, class, this next project is about Henry's small penis.
Look, I have a picture. Look.
I snapped it while he was sleeping.
Teacher, why do you have a picture of his... That's not the project. This is the project, all right? Shut up.
So in Henry...
Henry goes, that's not my penis. That's
Is
that your penis?
The background is literally the classroom.
Do you take this during lunch?
But the thing is that so Henry, of course, following that incident, Henry has also
had
lost
enough of his shit.
All reason to give any shit about this dude once he realized he's actually like the biggest pussy ever. So he stops giving any kind of shit in his class. He starts like bombing all of the tests. He even starts writing some ridiculous shit on there. Mm-hmm. At least I'm feigning, pretending to give somewhat of a half of a shit about this class. Henry just went
a fraction of a shit.
Yeah. But Henry just full on started writing like random shit on his paper. I couldn't tell you what, but I know that, because he sat in front of me. So I look over and he's just like, so I know he wasn't.
He's got a red crayon.
So of course this leads to Henry's parents getting called. Mm-hmm. So at first I'm slightly worried because his mom is also a teacher. Mm-hmm. So I'm worried his mom will take the teacher's side. And then I remember what his dad is like. And I go, Henry's fine. So literally that day, Henry goes home or whatever, and he calls me at like 8 p.m. Mm-hmm. And he goes, yeah, I won't have to give a shit about Coach. Coach Mike, whatever I called him. Zach, blood that out.
Yeah, redacted. Coach redacted.
Coach redacted. But so Henry goes, watch this. And next day comes, and surprisingly, Coach who was talking up a big game.
Mike.
Oh, that's 2 cents of bleeps.
Just right now, say
just do the moans that you made.
Yeah.
But,
Coach.
But Coach Mike's big talking game attitude. At this point, he kind of just was like, he was unusually quiet, shall we say. Mm-hmm. He wasn't talking to anyone, talking any shit. And then eventually he kind of calls Henry up, right? Mm-hmm. And, he has some sort of private discussion with him. And at this point, Henry sits down, and of course I ask him, like, oh, what was it about? And he's like, he told me to try harder on the next test or whatever. And I'm like, oh, what happened with that thing with your parents? And so he turns around and we just start talking. And so he tells me that he heard his dad pick up the phone.
Uh-huh.
Best case scenario for him. And literally his dad told off Coach Mike so hard. It was hilarious. Because the halfway through the call, Henry's dad put Coach Mike on mute so he could talk to him. And so he was like, hey, Henry, what's going on in your class, right? Like, what's going on? Like, what are you doing? And he's like, dude, and by the way, I don't mean to, like, toot my own horn or anything, but...
Then don't.
No, I have to for the sake of this, because otherwise it's not going to make any sense. Henry's parents see me like their own fucking kid.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane. Like, they bought another TV for me to play on when I'm at his house.
Oh
Wow.
my god.
That, like... And like, so I every time I've gone over there, it's been absolutely insane. Like, they've taken me and my brother and sister out to, like, fireworks and shit.
Mm-hmm.
So they see me as extended family, essentially. So when I say this, I mean it. He goes, this dude has, like, been trying to shit on them all the entire semester. And on top of that, his class isn't even important. And also Henry found, like, kind of a passion calling in photography at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So he's like, I don't give a shit about this class. I want to focus on my camera stuff. That was all Henry's dad needed to hear. He gets on the phone and grills this dude for apparently half of an hour about how, like, shitty of a teacher he is and like, all this other stuff. So I was
Sir,
like,
I know everything I need to know now.
I have the download. So he gets on this dude's ass. He gets on Coach Mike's ass for a half hour. And so now Coach Mike is super meek towards me and Henry. He won't talk to me anymore. He won't even make, like, direct eye contact with me. And even though he'll try and, get at Henry a little bit, he knows that there's no victory over him. But he still has to act like the bigger dude. Like, I swear to you, if Coach Mike had at any point apologized in any capacity,
Yeah.
I would have forgiven him. I'm not an unforgiving person. All he had to do was say, I'm sorry. It could have been the most half-assed sorry ever. And I would have put it all behind me. I would have said, okay, buddy. I may not like you, but I'll do your shit for the sake of me getting a higher grade and your class not looking like absolute garbage. He never did that.
I can tell.
So this entire semester, he goes through acting like he's got a big dick. But I saw his personality dick, and it was the size of a cherry, my friends. That's all I'm saying.
It's the size of this walnut, except way smaller.
What a way to end the podcast. We have been recording for an hour and 13 minutes.
Hell yeah.
So
Fuck
we're going
Coach
to end
Mike.
it here.
Fuck Coach
Fuck
Mike.
Coach.
No, we gotta play D&D.
Yeah, now you guys got to go D&D. So thank you guys for coming out for this episode. I love you all, and I'll see you all in the next episode.
Okay, bye-bye.